Yo, welcome back. Splat Sports, episode 31. GRS is back. Barrett, not here. Don't know where he's at. He never responded, so sorry about that, folks. Episode 31. We are here, Friday episode. We said we were changing up the format. We're here. New setup for me as well. Look at this, GRS. I got a little desk corner now. Look at this.
Yeah, this last episode.
Yeah, but now you're here and I can talk about it. Look at that. I got the Falcons up there.
hmm
To,
Poverty, yeah.
I know you ain't talking.
You can
Anyway,
100
it
mil
is
on a quarterback you just released.
180 million. Actually, we're trading them. We could talk about that on a later date. Anyway, Friday. We're recording this late. You're probably seeing this Saturday night. We wanted to wait till after the Ohio State Texas game. That way, we knew the winner. We're gonna jump into that first, but I said that we were going to have kind of a thing to kick off each show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so our Friday is going to be our weekend locks, Juris. Juris, what is your weekend lock? NFL playoffs this weekend. You got some basketball. Anything in there?
My luck for this weekend is going to be the Chargers being the Texans. Right now, it is Chargers -3, but I do think they will win by at least a touchdown. The Texans this year, they haven't been 100% most of the year. At the start of the year, Mixon got injured. Nico Collins had a bad injury, so they haven't been 100%. CJ Stroud has taken a little bit of a step back this year, a little bit of a sophomore slump. And with the Chargers' great defense and the way they want to play, I think this is a very bad situation for the Texans. So I will go with Justin Herbert and John Harbaugh to win by at least a touchdown at the Texans.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my lock of the weekend being the Commanders over the Bucks at Tampa Bay. I do not have the money line, but the over under, according to the real app, is at 50 points. Uh, Pretty high up there. Not a lot of defense. A lot of people are saying. I just think that Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are going to get the job done, especially rookie year. I think for the Bucks, you're kind of in a tough spot. Like you're kind of like the Steelers of the NFC. I would say you're kind of just stuck. You're making the playoffs, but you're not gonna. Nobody. You're not gonna win the Super Bowl. So that is it's my weekend lock. Also, want to issue an apology to the Boston sports fans. They apparently did not like my loser of the week being the Patriots last week. Call me a casual. Sorry about it. I know the Joe Milton experience. Okay, guys. Um, that's on me though. I'll take it on the chin. But let's go to college football. A football centric show. Looks like that's because that's all we got going on right now. And the very cold. It's snowy. It is a lot. There's a lot of snow out here, Giros. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
snow out here. You been sledding yet?
No, I have not been. Have you?
I've not gone outside, and I'm not planning on till probably tomorrow. So
Mm.
let's go to the college football national championship. We had two semifinal games. One played on Thursday. One played today. Let's talk about Notre Dame and Penn State first. Um, I would say that it was a great game. I enjoyed it. Great game. Tough, tough on Drew L.R. Tough, tough way to end the game through the interception. Um, Really good game plan and game from Marcus Freeman. I feel like James Franklin kind of got out coached. GRS, your kind of thoughts?
Yeah, I think just the biggest thing to take away is just, Drew Lar, I mean, Penn State hasn't been in like a ton of situations like this before late in the postseason. So James Franklin struggled to win the big game in the regular season. I think that kind of reflected this game a little bit. But overall, Drew Lar is expected to return next year. I do think that he will learn from this, and I think that he'll be a very solid quarterback next year. I think the Big Ten next year overall will just be interesting as a whole with Oregon and Ohio State both losing their quarterbacks. So Penn State has a good chance to bounce back next year, and I think I'll look for him to do that.
I agree, and you also have Michigan with Bryce Underwood in there too. But Oregon's also replacing Dylan Gabriel with Dante
Mhm.
Moore, so not a big drop off there in the games that he did play. He looked really good. my kind of thought is that James Franklin still has not won the big game. Who'd you be in the regular season? Indiana. You beat Indiana. You made the Big Ten championship, lost to Oregon. The only team you really beat was Boise State from the Mountain West, SMU. Whether they deserve to be there or not, they just got outplayed the entire time. I don't think James Franklin has won the big one yet, and I don't think that Penn State is at the top where a lot of people think they are right now. And say what you want about Penn State and all that, but I good season, great season, the big step up for him. But James Franklin, in my opinion, still has not won the big one. Your kind of thought, Jess?
Yeah, I saw a stat, I think it was today, past 35, 36 games, when Penn State has been up by 10 or more, they've only lost 2 games out of like 36 or however long he's been there, and they both came this year. And so I think that says a lot about like what you said. They're just haven't won the big one yet, but with the talent they have, they can clearly get over that hump. I believe. I don't know when that's gonna happen. It could be next year with all the returning talent, but I do think that they do have a decent chance next year to get over that hump, and I could see them making noise next year.
So that was Thursday games. Now let's go over to the Cotton Bowl, where we just watched Ohio State take down Texas. Tough look for Quinn Ewers. I mean, played decent, I would say. I said it in the college splatcast about how Texas's offensive line was going to struggle, and it showed, especially late. Quinn Ewers strip fumble by Jack Sawyer, strip sack. Sorry. I think Texas really they just kind of fell apart at the end, and then they didn't really get things going quick enough. I feel like the thing that Texas struggled with the most this year was starting quick and staying hot. They didn't start quick. They got hot and they didn't stay hot. As for Ohio State, defense showed up when you needed it to. The offense wasn't really there. Will Howard kind of looked banged up at times. Jeremiah Smith got shut down completely. One catch, right?
Yes.
One
Yeah, one
catch.
catch, 3 yards.
Yeah. Carnell Tate, though, I mean, it just goes to show how deep this roster is. We've said it on the show before. We said it on the Splatcast that Ohio State's the best roster in college football. And it showed tonight. Your number one receiver, and how much did Ibuka have?
Ibuka had 5 for 51.
So you basically had your two top guys go 6 catches, 55 yards total. Any touchdowns? Did Ibuka catch a touchdown? I feel like he got a touchdown there.
He did not know.
Oh, never mind. So what you want. There you go. Run game was there for Ohio State. Just
Yeah. Going back to what you said though, you have 3 5-star. You're starting 3 5-star receivers, so there was a little bit of rumblings that Carson Tate may enter the portal after only having, I think, 2 or 3 catches so far through the playoff. But this game overall, he's the one who took the step. He had 7 catches for 87 yards. Both quarterbacks look solid at times, and sometimes, I mean, they just looked like they were just barely getting over the hump almost. Will Howard did look slightly better, I think, even though he was injured, But, I mean, the true tale, though, is just Ohio State's talent. They basically wreaked havoc on Texas's O-line all night in every facet. And I think that, for Quinn Ewers, it's a sucky way to go out. But overall, I think this game just speaks volumes to Ohio State's talent overall. And talent is going to be playing in the championship against Notre Dame.
There you go. So Ohio State, Notre Dame, you can get our full predictions on the college flatcast. I don't know when we'll film it. Probably soon.
Is it next Monday?
I believe so. So probably sometime this week. We'll get graphics and all that for it. Be an exciting time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be a good championship. It's got potential. Potential. Quinn Ewers, though, is he the first SEC quarterback taken?
God, I think here. Probably. I mean, there's obviously the top two, Cam Ward, Shador. After that, it's kind of, I mean, looking at mock drafts and stuff, it's those two, and there's not a QB pick for a minute. So I could see him late first, early second.
Well, let's talk about SEC quarterbacks because one of them has gone to the ACC. Carson Beck to the University of Miami. He entered the transfer portal, was listed as a no contact,
Mm-hmm.
commits to Miami the next day. A lot of people saying, well, his girlfriend goes there. Well, this and that. A lot of people saying tampering. Basically, my boy Jason Swain, shout out. Big fan. Is Miami tampering with this? Just what are you thinking? What's your thoughts on Carson Beck and the
Well,
Miami
first
Green?
off, for Carson Beck, I think this makes sense for him just because, with his shoulder injury or his elbow, is that his elbow?
UCL, yes.
Yeah. But like with that situation, his draft stock has gone downhill. And so he's basically given the chance, to probably make more money as well as just be the starting quarterback. So I think this is the right decision for him. I don't know if I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of tampering in college sports nowadays. I think that, there was rumors that even, for Tennessee, Nico, Miami was offering him a lot. So I think tampering I don't know if that's the right word, but there's definitely always going to be rumbles with these big schools that have a lot of money, historically great programs. So I think it's more so that, just the idea and the money aspect was there. And his girlfriend is at Miami right now, so I think that was a big selling point. But I think the biggest thing to take away is that this was the right decision for Carson Beck, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that his draft stock would have gone there, but going on the tampering thing, I think uh, Peter Burns, I think that's who it is on Twitter. He basically made the analogy of, well, there's no police on the highway, so why not go 110? I mean, until you start regulating NIL, until you start regulating contacts and transfer portal, there's going to be tampering. I'm not sure if there was tampering in this. I sure there was a little bit. I mean, like you said, it has to be. Um, Interesting to see how he does though. I think coming back from a UCL, you had surgery on it. You get installed to a somewhat new Miami offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
The idea
Yeah.
there. Miami brings in some talent in the transfer portal, but I don't think Miami can keep doing this year in and year out, where you bring in a 1 year guy. I mean, it worked for him with Cam Ward. Cam
Mm-hmm.
Ward and Carson Beck, not the same player, though. I'll tell you that much.
And then you got a school like in your own state, like Florida State, that's kind of playing the same game, and
You
it's
look at
going to
that
be hit or
roster.
miss either year for him. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
that's just the transfer portal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can play the transfer portal great. Sometimes you miss out. Ole Miss has played it great. Colorado, even though I made an apology to them, they played the transfer portal pretty good. So Miami played transfer portal pretty good. See how this one turns out. Um, that's kind of the big. That was kind of one of the big moves. I didn't expect it. I thought he would just go onto the draft, be happy, but we should see what happens at Georgia too with Gunnar Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how
Mhm.
good he is.
I don't know if they're freshmen coming in. I don't know who their recruit is off the top of my head, so I don't know
Yeah,
what
and then
that's.
the backup
But
Jaden Rashada transferred.
yeah, yeah, he's in the portal, so I'd expect him to start. I'm very interested to see how he performs there after
He
this
lose a lot of
playoff.
talent.
Yeah, he has a lot of talent. I think it's just he just doesn't have the experience yet, and I think with all the talent Georgia will always have over the next few years, I think that he'll be just fine.
Yeah, got the Branch brothers coming in there too. So
Yeah.
you're not in a bad spot, Georgia either. Is let's go to our final kind of topic. On Wednesday I talked about how the Raiders fired Antonio Pierce, but they were going to keep Tom Telesco, the GM. Next day, Telesco's fired, and Brady kind of says, "Hey, I'm taking my vision onto this team." I think, I mean, Antonio Pierce, 4-13. Tom Telesco hasn't necessarily brought in a whole lot of talent there. He didn't bring in Devontae Adams. He actually traded Devontae Adams. I don't know if he was the one that drafted Aiden O'Connell. I can't remember. He might have been. He might have been involved in that some way, shape, or form. You haven't brought in anything really. You brought in Jimmy Garoppolo. He didn't play. He barely played. He was injured. Gardner Minshew comes in, didn't do a whole lot. Then I think he went to the Colts. I'm pretty sure something in there, or it might have been the other way around. I can't really remember. Yeah, I didn't watch the Raiders for some reason. He did draft Brock Bowers, so positive, possibly rookie of the year in my opinion. He probably should be the rookie of the year. Broke all the tight end records. I'm interested to see what Brady's going to do here. Just kind of your thoughts on.
Yeah, looking at, but when you do look at Telesco, like he was kind of a weird spot because he never had a top 5 pick. He's
Yeah,
always been in this lower range to where he doesn't get the cream of the crop, but he gets talent, and but all the flashy skill position player names are gone. So I'm very interested what he does here. Mock drafts right now have them taking Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State. He played pretty good last night. I would trade down, I think, in this situation just because you could get another second maybe, and then maybe you could take a chance on somebody like Quinn Ewers if he fell, and then maybe you could draft down and get maybe Teodoro McMillan from Arizona, and then I think that would value your skill position room pretty well. They do have a couple bright spots. Amir Abdullah looks solid at times at running back. You always see Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers. I think that trading down here and getting another pick, as long as trading down maybe like 5 to 10 spots, would be very good for this franchise at this point, especially since you're not going to get, a franchise guy immediately like Cam Ward, like Shedeur Sanders or anyone like that.
yeah, I think I totally agree with you, but I really think it's going to be what Tom Brady wants. It looks like. I mean,
Yeah.
a couple days ago they were like, "We're keeping Telesco. We think he's going to be great," and then gets fired the next day. I think that Brady might step down as an announcer. It wouldn't surprise me if he says, "Hey, I'm going to step away as an announcer. I want to focus on the Raiders." Not a very good announcer. I will say that.
Yeah, it definitely took him a while to get going. Like I listened to him like first 2 weeks of the year, and you could tell it was new to him. But near the end of the year, I didn't think he was bad. I do think he does have a lot of insight though that could help the Raiders.
Yeah, and I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, I don't think he would make himself the GM, but
No, I don't know, but like part of me just hopes this isn't like a Aaron Rodgers situation almost, where it's just like
yeah,
they're doing everything he completely says.
that
Which I don't think
situation,
Tom Brady doesn't seem like he has that personality
no,
though. So,
that situation's wild too. The Aaron Rodgers
yeah.
ordeal.
Hmm.
Saw a video of him dapping up his teammates walking out. That was
Yeah.
interesting to see where he goes.
Hmm.
Tennessee,
Or
maybe.
if he goes anywhere, he just goes to the
Do the
house.
do the Titans sign him or do they draft?
I would. I mean, with the first pick, I mean, who do you prefer, Cam Ward or Shedeur?
Shoot, well, let's go ahead and we'll just jump into this. Let me do a that way we can increase the time.
Yeah, for me, I like Cam Ward more. I just think he's more pro style.
I have no
To me.
idea how to spell Shadeur's first name, so you're getting Sanders. Sorry,
Okay.
chat people.
I just like the way Cam is built more. I think he's built, just like a pro style quarterback. He's an improviser. He has an arm, and even, he was putting up great numbers at Miami. I know it's the ACC, but at the end of the day, he still looked very, very good. So, I mean, I'm not saying Shador is bad. I really don't think you can go wrong that much. I just think that, when you look at, I think Cam Ward is just slightly the better pro player. With Shador, you are bringing a little bit of other stuff. I wouldn't call it baggage because it could help you in the long run because people would want to play with him. But I just think Cam Ward could last longer in this league. So I think I would just pick Cam Ward because of that mainly.
Yeah, Shadeur's such a complicating, complicated case because there's
Mm-hmm.
talent, but you look at what he did at Colorado, and he put up numbers,
What's
But
like a player comparison for? Is he like a Russell Wilson, where he can like run some, like a
I don't
younger?
see him running much. I'd see him in the NFL dropping back and throwing
Yeah, I
passes.
know, but like,
I think he would play more kind of like Michael Penix has been. Michael Penix did for the Falcons when he started.
mhm,
I think.
just better, hopefully.
All right, watch your tone. Don't hate on Michael Penix now. I think that it's so tough because you also bring a brand, you also bring a name, so you have that going for him. A lot of scouts are saying they could see him going not even first round, and that's such a big. I mean, who knows? He played in the Big 12 and Pac-12. Didn't really compete in the Pac-12 at all. I think went 1-8 was his Pac-12 record. Didn't have an offensive line till about this year, and when he did, went 8-4, and I mean, did all right.
To be fair, he did have a running game though. They never ran the football.
No,
And you,
did not have a running back at all. You also had the Heisman winner to throw to. So I mean,
mhm,
there's a lot of you pick what you want. I could see him going to New York, the Giants.
mhm.
Realistically, I think he would go to the Giants.
Right now
Depending
he's
on
projected. Right now he's going to the Browns, according to things, which Deshaun Watson did re-rupture his Achilles, so it'll be
re-rupture his
interesting to see what they
Achilles,
do.
and they're restructuring the deal. I
Mhm.
could see him getting released.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I don't know if the Browns would take him. I don't think he would want to go play Cleveland.
yeah. I mean, you have some
I think he
interesting.
wants to play for a big market team.
Yeah.
I could see the Titans taking him. Realistically, at number one, you need an identity in Nashville. You lose your announcer. You lose. Sorry, you lose. I'm excited about that. You lose. You kind of lose everything up there in Nashville. You need to build an identity, and I think what a lot I talked about on Wednesday. What a lot of these teams now are looking at are who can build the best culture. That's why I think Rex Ryan is going to go back to the Jets because he built the culture there. I mean, he brings a brand, he brings a name. It'll put fans in the stands. Nashville's a bustling city. Went there recently. I mean, it's a Shedeur would fit in well, I believe. I don't think I couldn't see him going to Cleveland. I could see him going to New York, the
Hmm.
Giants.
Yeah.
I think Cam Ward clears Shedeur by a lot, though.
Yeah. I think that. Um, I just think Cam Ward just can just do more. Like that's just my. I mean, he just like I feel like he has so many. I mean, Shador is great now, but I think just feel like Cam Ward has just so many intangibles you can have. It's almost like I don't want to like maybe a Cam Newton long. Like he just has so many intangibles. He can run. He's big. You know, he's like Josh Allen. He's just huge, and he could do so much with the football. And he was very accurate at Miami. And I just think that that just helps. I just think it just speaks volume to like how much the NFL values intangibles. Like Anthony Richardson. I mean, I know it's a bad example, but like he has all the intangibles, but he just can't harness them. So it's like, so it's just like the NFL is just so big on him because he went like six. So I
Yeah,
think that with the combination of Shadur and his baggage, if you want to put it that way, I just think that doesn't help him as much as Cam Ward, someone who can be a brand. I think that he does have a pretty good personality, and I do think that it's not overbearing or anything, but I think he could still attract talent though.
yeah, definitely. Interesting you mentioned Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Interesting. They announced that he would have to battle for the starting job. Honestly, I would make him battle too when you're tapping out of games when you need him to go win one. So
Is Flacco still there? Is he a
I
free
think so,
agent?
but I think he's a coach. I think he goes into. I don't know what Indianapolis is a mess. I don't know if you've watched what's happening
Uh,
in Indianapolis. They've pushed like Peyton Manning, Pat McAfee out. I mean, it's a mess over there.
yeah, I
So that
mean
was
they
said
have
that very
pieces.
weird.
They have pretty good pieces. It's just kind of. I mean, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have
Yeah.
A.D. Mitchell, you have Michael Pittman, which Michael Pittman doesn't fit this offense at all. Though, like
No, yeah, I think
I think
he'll
you're
leave.
better off just trading him and getting a higher pick almost.
I mean, you got a pretty high pick as
Yeah.
so far, but
yeah.
That's tough. Indianapolis, tough place to.
Yeah. Their pick is
Who's their head coach? Shane Steichen.
Steichen. Yeah. I think Steichen's a really
I
good
think he's a
coach.
good coach.
Yeah, it's just I mean, there was a couple times I mean, their defense started really I think I can't remember if it was really good or really poorly, but I think it was started pretty good. I think they just faded. I think it was almost like the Jets, where it's like, your
Yeah,
defense is really good, but like you play for nothing because your quarterback's completing 8-9 passes a game. So it's like there's no point in. I don't
yeah.
know if they
I
could
mean,
just if they could just figure out Anthony Richardson, they would contend every year for at least a high wild card spot. I feel like just because you have so much talent there.
especially in that division too.
Yeah, in the AFC South.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Jacksonville's a mess.
Jacksonville's a mess. Texans, were
I,
are in a. I mean,
I wouldn't say Jacksonville's a mess. I think that if you plug a good head coach in there,
yeah, and I think injuries just destroyed him. Like Doug Peterson's just like a guy that he'll rebuild you back up to like a 7 and. I mean, he'll have one good year, and then he just slowly falls off the cliff again. Like he can show you bright spots early in his first couple of years, but he can't, just keep the job for.
yeah. And then the Titans. So, well, there you go. Got a little NFL talk in there. A lot of NFL talk. So yeah, watching SportsCenter right now. Developing story: home that Lakers coach JJ Redick was renting in Pacific. Uh,
His
I don't know what that word is. I can't.
house burned
Yeah, his house burned down. So
down.
thoughts, prayers go out to people in California. It sucks. Hate that. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Really do. Truthfully do. Praying for all y'all. Anyway, episode 31. Hope you like the new format. Sorry to the Boston fans again. Probably going to offend more fans out there. Gonna have some clips coming out. Jimmy Butler thing soon.
Yeah, it's
All
soon.
right. Sweet, 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 sweet. We'll see you next. We'll see you Monday. Winners and losers. There you go. Stay warm if you're in the eastern half of the United States, and stay safe if you're in the western half. There you go. Jesus loves you. Peace out. Deuces. Adios. Bye, 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 bye.